It's me, Renee. I'm back. And um, yes, so it's Halloween time still. Halloween time. Some will say, like, as well, some people would call Halloween time just like the weekend of Halloween, but I think a lot of people think of like the whole October as Halloween time, and that's kind of what I'm kind of thinking of it as. So, yeah. So, here, as you can see from the title, is books that made me legitimately scared. Like, usually, I don't really like being scared, and that might makes me like, okay, so how do you, because like I read books with like mystery, and I read books with like action elements, and I suppose both of these kind of makes you scared. Like sometimes I kind of feel like, what's the difference between an action book and a scared, like a horror book? I think in my mind, I suppose one difference I would say, like in scary movies or like horror movies, a lot of people could die, while often in action movies, uh, a lot of them come out alive. Some people might die, but a lot of them come out like people you kind of know that there's a happy ending. Like all the Indiana Jones movies, even like even though he's running and he has bad guys behind him, you pretty much know that Indy's gonna survive. Except I suppose now, when the last one, he might die of old age. I mean, it's a bit old now, but yeah. And I suppose maybe also like horror, I suppose, might have like more gore, more like blood, while action and adventure is more like about it's more about a MacGuffin, and I suppose people will get hurt now and then, but it's not like focus on it. I'm not quite sure. Like, how would you define the difference between action and horror? I'm curious if you have a definition there. I'm a bit curious. But yeah, as like myself, I mean, I read fantasy books, I read adventure books. Like, I never go like if someone describes a book as horror, like horror elements, I would avoid it at all costs. It's not something I look for really. But yeah, sometimes action kind of action and horror kind of are close together, and they kind of like now and then you have one, and then you have the other like side by side. And I suppose if it's been described as action and then you read it, like, oh, this is quite scary. I mean, if you already enjoy the characters, you won't really DNF it. At least I won't. But yeah. So yeah, here are some books that legit really, really scared me. So I suppose if you want to be scared, or like if you want to know which books to avoid, or if you, yeah, I suppose if you want to read some books during Halloween that makes you quite scared. I suppose I can't really know what will make you scared, but yeah, these are books that really, really scared me. So I suppose there are different elements of scared also, but yeah. And also some of these are series, some are books, but some books, I mean, some are standalones and some are series, and yeah. So first we have The Mediator by Meg Cabot. So this is a 6-book series, one of my favorite series of all time. And yeah, I would say yeah, some books in this series are scarier than others. But also yeah, I would say most books of these books have like a very not very a scary scene. Some have very scary scene, but some are scary scene. And yeah, so if you like to be a bit scared, because yeah, I just said that this video was about books that made me legitimately scared. I suppose this is about books that makes me scared in different levels. This it makes it somewhat scared, but it's not like hiding behind a pillow scared, but it's a bit scared. A bit scared. So that's way to say it. Yeah. Oh wait, I just said it. A bit scared. So yeah, if you want some scary scenes, pick up this since this book series. But also it also has great characters, plots, and all the other stuff that you really need for a good book. So yeah, check it out. This one. And then we have Haunted Heroine. So this one actually takes place at Halloween, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it is. And there's ghosts, as you might might have guessed from the cover. And yeah, I mean, this one is the, I want to say fourth? Yeah, fourth book in this series. First it was a trilogy, and then it kind of got expanded to like septology, because now there's going to be 6 books. I think the 6th book is coming out this year, next year. I'm gonna have to check that because I love this series. Anyway, this is all about superheroes, Asian American superheroes, and in this one they go back to Evie Tanaka's college, and yeah, there's some ghosts, and they might be harmful, and yeah, you get a bit scared there. But also, yeah, just a cheesy, fun story. Like it's not a Stephen King level of scaredness, but yeah, you will get a bit scared. Then we have The Secret Fire, which is blah 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 blah. Give me a little moment. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So this is the first one in duology. Because I have to check if this was first second. But yeah, pretty sure it's the first one in duology. Um. So yeah, it has secret societies and curses and all that whatnot. It's set both in Paris but also in London. So fun settings, at least for me. And yeah, I mean, yeah, I very much enjoyed this duology, even though I haven't read it in quite a while. But yeah, definitely recommend if you want a fun urban fantasy, but also quite scary at times series. And also, I would say like it's quite original. It's not really something you see every day. You know, that's kind of a good idea for video. Anyway, yeah, this yeah is definitely a book you should check out. It's written by C.J. Doherty, so who also wrote Night School, and Karina Rosenfeld, who's a French author. This is her first English book, and yeah, I mean, Sheila Dove has written other books in English, but yeah, and yeah, highly recommend it. I mean, yeah, you see how unscripted these videos are. I mean, me saying highly recommend a book that I haven't read in a few years. I mean, that's a bit weird. I mean, should you highly recommend a book you haven't read yourself in a few years? But like then again, like if it's a book that you read, even though it's a few years, but you have a fond memory of it and you remember it being very good, I would say then you can recommend it to other people, can't you? I suppose, yeah. I mean, if I reread it, maybe I find some more faults I didn't find the first time around. But that's something you find with all the rereads. So, well, not all rereads. Anyway, okay, yeah. Let's move on. More books. I have more books to talk about. Then we have Invisibility by Andrew Kramer and David Leviathan. In addition to a lot of things that is amazing in this book, the villain is also just yeah heartbreakingly evil. I would say yeah he's not a misunderstood villain. He's just downright evil. I would say yeah he's very much evil. Like he does not give the good guys a choice to like you could be kidnapped or die. He's like, you could die, or like die or be in eternal pain. So he's like worse or insanely worse. And yeah, he's also yeah. I mean, what he is makes him creepy, but he also what he does is also creepy. And yeah, he's quite scary. So also I suppose this one also has kind of other aspects to it that kind of also makes you like well, it don't make you scared. Well, I suppose they might make you angry, so I suppose to make you scared in a way. Anyway, yeah, this book has an amazing villain. So definitely check out this book for the villain and other parts. And then we have Old Magic by Marion Curley. So, like when I first read this when I was 12, I was so scared of this villain. I was kind of like I think one of the kind of big parts that kind of stuck with me was like the villain because it was just so creepy and yeah, it was just. I think maybe I had some nightmares after reading this book. I think I might have. I think I might have. But yeah, I suppose yeah. I mean, this is written for teens. If I was like going to read it for the first time now, will I be that scared? No, I think I would still be a bit scared because yeah, the villain he's not like a charming anti-hero. He's a villain. He's downright villain, and yeah, quite a cunning and clever villain. So yeah, if you like villains, that just sounds weird. When you say word too many times, it just sounds weird. Villains. If you like a villain, if you like a bad guy who's very bad and very scary. Check out this book. And then we have Hexed and Charmed. So this is duology. I talked about it in another video. Well, I've talked about all these books in other videos, but yeah, this one starts like with the bad guys in like the second or first chapter doing a very creepy thing. So it starts very scary, but it's kind of scary. Other parts in the book, yeah, but yeah, it starts very scary. So like, yeah, the bad guys in this universe is so scary. And of course, it's a duology, so they come back in this one. Again, I haven't read it in quite a while. Maybe I'll do it. Uh, but yeah, it is just, I mean, quite scary. So check out this duology if you want to be scared. Then we have Fire by Kristen Cashore. So this one has like several villains. Like there's a villain like in this book that's scary, but there's also like a villain that's in this and the first book that kind of it's in both books. He's also quite scary. So yeah, and there's also like I suppose we talk a lot about villains in this video, but it's not called villains who scare me. It's called books who scare me. Books who scare me. I mean, it's not like the books themselves scare me. Like, oh my, I got a book. I'm scared. I mean, it's the content of the book. But yeah, but like often what makes you scared is the villain. So both kind of goes hand in hand. But yeah, I suppose also like the world in this one is also quite a bit scary, and they're like this small little villains and stuff. And yeah, if you want to be scared, check out Fire by Kristen Cashore. It's yeah, it will give you some scary parts. It'll give some scary parts. It will give you some facts. Then we have The Future of Another Timeline by Anna Lee Newts. This one I haven't really talked about in quite a hot minute, but it's a very good book. It's a time travel story. It's a time travel story set around like it's organized time travel. It's not like accidental time travel. They time travel through time travel machine, and I suppose they do it like sneakily because I mean, okay, so in this universe, there's time travel. Like there's time travel isn't known thing, but like people who can work in time travel machines, like all that stuff. It's out in the open. But like the people who do it, like the people who follow, are a bunch of a bunch um, group of females and non-binaries who kind of go back to the past to make the world better for females because in their present abortion is illegal and it's kind of very scary. It's a very scary, very patriarchal world. Like it's our world, but like times 200, I would say. I mean, it's not really. I mean, it's our world, but it's our world, but yeah, much more heavier on the anti-feminism and anti-females. So yeah, and yeah, at parts of this they made kind of different scary villains, and yeah, parts of this, yeah, will definitely give you like, oh my god, this is scary thoughts. So yeah, it's also a book that kind of gives you like you think about how the world is and how the world could be, and yeah, it's kind of a good book to like make you think. But if you want a book that's scary but makes you think, check out this read. And then yeah, I mean, yeah, I've done this before sometimes. I always feel a bit mean doing it, but it is my channel, and like I don't know, maybe some of you watching are Swedes, or maybe some of you watching are Norwegians, maybe some of you watching are Danish, or maybe you are learning one of those languages. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna recommend Genfärdsstämma. So yeah, it's a book originally Swedish, but this is the Norwegian version. And yeah, it's kind of like a book meant for like 10 to 14-year-olds, I would say, around like that age group. And like for me, often those books aren't that scary. Like some of them are, and yeah, I suppose yeah, Rick Riordan books are kind of creepy and scary at times. But like I would say maybe this one is kind of actually a bit more. So it's kind of all about ghosts and like well, I love the book. This spoiling it. I don't know. I love the book. You kind of think, oh, it's ghosts. Oh no, it's just someone pranking. And at the end, you discover, no, there are really ghosts, and like there really is something, some haunting going on there. And yeah, quite creepy. I would definitely say it definitely works for Halloween time. definitely is a good read for that. And then last but not least, we have Skullduggery Pleasant. So yeah, I mean, I started reading this when I was 19, and I remember reading the first book and just loving it so much. And then I reread the first book last year, and then I thought, why did I love the first book so much? Because last like, when I reread it, I discovered like it has so many creepy scenes. Why did I love it so much? I mean, yeah, it also has a lot of good scenes, but it has a lot of scary scenes. So I suppose, and I also like, yeah, I'll say all of the Skullduggery Pleasant books are quite creepy and scary. Like, like this is the fourth one, and to be quite frank, like this last few, I think maybe these last few five books in the series, I've kind of maybe skimmed like 20% of them because they're so scary. So like the scary parts, I'm too scaredy pants to read. I'll just skim it and then go forth until like where it's not so scary. But yeah, Skull Pleasant. It's very funny. It's very original, but it's also very scary. So if you like one or several of those things, I would recommend you should check it out. And yeah, that's kind of the books that I have made me very scary, or very scary, very scared, very scary. That made me scary. No, but yeah, you know. Um. So yeah, if you want to talk about any of these books or books that you read that you got very scared from reading, please do. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.